Hey guys, this is Dan welcoming you to episode 7 of What the Dice. So let's get right to it. We walk along the beach line carefully, keeping our feet just on the edge of the surf, making our way slowly to the campfire we have visited so many times before. Looking around, we see no one, so we sit. Before us, dinner is slowly cooking. We lean in and take a ladle full of the soup. We hear the old man clear his voice behind us. Ah, me friend. Welcome, welcome. Please, enjoy. As you see, it is just us tonight. But that does not mean I will not tell you more of our little story. So, our friends, the travelers, Kalila, Defibulus, and Clyde, have decided to take on this mission. They have now made their way up the mountains towards the dark swamp. Well, my friend, sit back, enjoy the soup, and it is time for me to continue our story. As you guys are looking out across this swamp and you didn't notice something else, you can take the route directly to the entrance of the dark swamp, or you guys can set up camp because you are not in the heart. It looks like you still have another day's travel to get to the entrance of the dark swamp itself, or you can try to enter the swamp from here. So there's two areas you guys can go from. You could try to enter the swamp itself from where you're currently at. This means that you'll be climbing down a mountainside, which is treacherous terrain. It also looks like there are many caves speckling the area. This also means that it would be, if you slip and fall, or if you ever lose footing, it would be pretty much your life. Does that make sense?
Sounds perfect.
The other option is you take the safer rounding route. You guys are making good time, which means you would be able to get there in another day if you pushed through the night.
I don't think we need to push through the night, but I definitely vote taking the safer path.
Yeah, if we're asking for the church's help, it's going to take them a long time anyway to get here, so might as well go the safer route.
I concur.
As you guys set up camp for the night, you can look over the swamp. Do you guys want to use field rations, or do you guys want to send a party member out to go hunt?
I will go hunt.
I asked Kalila if she would like to go hunt.
I already assumed I was.
Well, be careful out there. I mean, I don't know much about swamps, but I get the feeling this place is not very safe.
She'll nod and take out her spider and get Hugin out now finally, so he can assist in the hunting.
Okay.
I forgot about your spider.
Yeah.
She does too.
I'll eventually remember more.
So go ahead and roll a survival.
Survival?
Mm-hmm.
15. Thank you. And it was 15 for a survival roll.
All right, so you are good. You are able to track down some simple meat, rabbits, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna bring back what we need for the night.
Okay.
Nothing excessive.
Okay. So I need who wants to set up camp, and how are you guys going to do um
Night watch.
night watch? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind setting up camp.
Okay. So Clyde, that means you'll be on night watch. Am I correct on this?
Sure.
All right. So I need Defibulous, roll your survival.
24.
All right. And then Clyde, give me a perception check.
All right. Here we go. Yay. Yep.
What?
Exactly. Yep.
What'd you roll?
2.
Oh. Okay then. Didn't
Your dice are very bipolar today.
But I also have a
I-
negative, so you know.
I feel
Alright.
your pain.
And I'm currently nowhere near the camp, right? Because I'm out hunting.
No, this is going to happen after you guys eat and during the night watch. Actually,
So, Kalila,
Yes.
the thing you brought back, is it a water rat or what?
It's a rabbit.
I didn't think rabbits lived in swamps.
There are some broods that do.
Looks more like a rat.
We're also not in the heart of the swamp yet. We're still in between.
I need a perception check from everyone. That is because I'm guessing you guys have just finished dinner, probably laying down. But perception also incurs hearing, so yes, I need perceptions.
14.
26.
10.
Well, Defibulous, you hear something weird. It almost sounds like sloshing or a strange, squishy movement. Like,
Something trudging through watery muck.
yeah, or more like someone is squishing like wet clothing together. That and it is getting closer and closer.
Alright, after what happened with the wagon incident getting into the town, Defibulous will have at least made sure people are close enough that he can get their attention.
Okay.
He's gonna peer out to see if he can at least see what's making the noise.
I need another perception check.
From all of us or just him?
Just him.
25.
So, what you see, it almost looks like a puddle, but it is moving just slightly towards you. And then it moves again. Roll me a. Do you have knowledge nature?
Sadly, I do not.
Then roll a intelligence check.
13.
You don't know what it is, but whatever it is moving towards you.
Psst, guys. He'll kind of poke him with the butt of his gun. Guys,
Yes.
the swamp is moving towards us, and I have no idea why.
Can I have Hugin use his tremor sense to figure out what it is? Or how far away it is?
Yes, you can.
What do I roll for that?
Tremor sense. Give me. Ask the rule lawyer. I can't find your
Spider
character.
sense tingles.
How do I use my spider sense, Clyde?
It would be like a perception, I believe, for him.
I don't have it. Here's you can. Tremor sense.
Unless it's something like specific tremor sense is something specific to him.
He's a spider. He has tremor sense.
Yeah, he's a spider.
And it's not, probably something very specific to, like it's a spider. I mean, it's a tremor sense thing that I just probably have not read.
That's interesting. It's not on the character sheet.
Yes, it is. It's up at the top where it says low light vision in the top right corner. Tremor sense, 30 feet.
Okay, so it's just like it can basically feel the vibrations in the ground. So it's a perception check.
12. It's plain out of sight. I don't know.
No, so I would say if he has tremor sense, 30 feet, that he can sense it only if he's within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And he
so-
just sense where it is. It doesn't necessarily sense what it is, but it senses the tremor of where it is.
But it at least give me an idea if it's within 30 feet. That's the point. Like, I
Yes.
can also roll for myself, for Kalila, to see if she can see it because she has low light vision. But also,
But you don't know what you're looking for.
well, I figured Defibulus is going guys and pointing in the direction that we're supposed to be looking, that the forest is coming alive. I'm going to look at what he's trying to show me.
All right, so roll 2 perception checks.
Basically, the tremor sense is a anti-invisibility.
Right, because it's like a spider web. No, I understand that. So it can at least give me an idea of maybe how far away it is for Hugin. And he rolled a 12 for that, and I have a 19 for just Kalila's perception.
So Hugin doesn't sense anything because it's not close enough, but you see this strange puddle that moves and then stops. And then it looks like it'll just kind of move a little bit and then stop. Roll a. Do you have knowledge nature?
Where would I find that?
It'd be in your skill set and it'll be under knowledges.
I don't even see a knowledge.
Then you don't have a knowledge.
Yeah.
You don't have knowledges. So just roll me a intelligence.
12.
You don't know what it is either. It's just this strange puddle that is moving.
I have no idea what that is, but the puddle is alive as I point to the puddle that's moving.
It is still inching its way closer. It is moving 5 feet at a time and then stops for a minute or two, moves again, and stops again. Clyde, would you like to try to see this too?
You mean like just see it or like think of what it is?
Well, they're describing it as a puddle that is moving. So if you have knowledge nature, you can try to figure it out, or you can try to look at it to get an idea. Either way.
We described it as a puddle, so I'm going to pick up a piece of the fire and go near it to, well, close enough that I could throw it at the puddle.
Okay. Roll your range? Yes, range.
Which while he's doing that, I'm getting my bow at the ready just in case I need it.
It'll be a 13.
Okay, 13. There it is. You hit it. It doesn't seem to screech or anything, but it does back up quickly.
Okay. Everybody get a piece of fire and make a little bit, or everybody just get behind the fire and keep watch on it and see what it does.
I'm fine with getting closer to the fire and monitoring it.
It's still moving and inching its way closer. Once it gets to the edge of the light, it stops and it starts to almost slowly move around this ring of light, keeping as much in the shadow as it can.
I'm going to ask one of the range people to shoot it. Just trial it once and shoot it.
All right, if they want me to shoot it, I can take aim at it, and I'll look at Clyde going, "You sure?"
Just once, and it can be even one of the goblin arrows that isn't the best thing, because if it's staying out of the light, uh, darkness breeds evil.
Why not light the arrow on fire, then shoot it?
Such a paladin thing to say.
Well, I do want to be a paladin, so
God,
All right,
theater textbooks hate you.
I will shoot a crappy arrow at the puddle that's on the edge of the
All
light.
right. Roll.
15.
You hit it solidly, and it starts to back away and disappears slowly into the night.
nice shot. The Fibulous, I would say lighting the arrow on would be the next thing to do, but just in case, something out in the swamp is dry, for any reason, I didn't want to set it on fire.
Kalila, can you give me a damage roll on that, please?
3.
Thank you. So, the rest of the night goes.
I don't know. Kalila's kind of curious as to what that was.
Do you want to try stalking
I
it?
do.
Are you going to inform your party of this?
That's a good question. I morally probably should. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to Clyde and be like, I'm gonna go see if I can follow that thing.
I would warn her that if there is one, there could be many in the swamp.
I won't go far.
Okay, because
I
then
would
if
take
you
a
get
stick of fire with you.
And
you get
get my butt
surrounded.
away. I can scream. I won't be far.
So, are you leaving? Is anyone going with her?
I would hope not. You guys might be loud.
I would. I'm going to ask her if she would like assistance, but I am not quiet.
No, you'll be too loud. I plan to just quietly stalk it, not engage it. I want to know what it was. A moving puddle? When have you ever seen a moving puddle?
Nope, haven't seen one.
Also, it didn't seem hostile. Yes, it came to the light edge. Maybe it's light sensitive. It lives in a swamp. There's a lot of shade. Or it could be a water-based creature. There's a lot of things that are afraid of fire.
Yes, there are, but there are not things usually that when you try and move them away that keep coming after you. If they're good.
That begs the question, are swamps evil or good?
Their nature.
They're neither,
This is so much fun.
but I will wait at the ready if you need me.
She'll nod. She goes, that'll be good. I will yell if I need anything. I won't go far.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and
So,
go follow the puddle and see what it is.
give me a perception
Yeah,
check.
definitely gonna look before I walk off, but
Mm-hmm.
make sure there's not like 10 moving puddles before I walk away. 20. Hold on. 25.
Okay. How far away from the camp are you going?
I would say. No more than 20 yards.
Okay, then give me one more perception check.
25 again.
All right. You see it again, but it seems to be moving deeper into the forest, moving along the edge of stone where it almost seems to disappear because of its color.
I'm just gonna observe it as an animal. What is it doing? What does it seem like? Blah blah blah. That's mostly my purpose, is just to see what the hell I can figure out about it. It's a new animal to me.
Right? So it stops moving as you hear movement around. Another small swamp creature is traveling through. This strange creature that you're watching seems to settle down next to some plants. As this, we'll say, rabbit jumps by, it lands in this puddle and it screeches in pain. You start to notice that its flesh is slowly dissolving as it is trying to get away. This strange creature starts to slowly engulf it.
I just ate it like Jello.
It more like you were watching what spiders do without the webbing. It dissolved this rabbit, but it only was able to dissolve it once it's
Once it
landed
touched
inside
it,
of
was
it.
inside of it. Okay. Well, that's
Mhm.
intriguing.
So it's like a slime.
Hmm?
It's
Yeah,
like a
it's like a
slime.
slime. All right. That's interesting. I'm gonna watch it for just a couple more minutes, staying alert to make sure there's no other like slime creature sneaking up on me, and then I'll head back to camp.
Okay. You get back to camp unassaulted.
So the slime dissolved the rabbit that jumped into it.
Slime? You mean the puddle?
Yeah, it's kind of like a puddle slime blob, whatever you want to call it.
So we need to watch out for puddles that dissolve things. Neat.
Yes.
Well,
Clyde, do you want to roll an intelligence check to see if you can identify what it was?
sure. I am kind of smart. I have a 13.
You're not exactly sure what they're called, but you do know that they are in the categorization of oozes. They tend to be things that hide in plain sight, like puddles or things like that. Um,
Nice. Well, that's why we have the crappy rations. If we come across any puddles, we can throw a ration into it and see if it'll
I do have fresh
dissolve.
food, so yeah.
okay.
Oh
Well, no,
yeah,
I
we
mean
don't
the
want to eat
goblin
those.
rations.
That's nasty.
They're not fresh food.
So, come morning, the edge of this area where the tree line meets the start of the swamp is quiet. There's very little movement, which is unusual for anyone that has spent time out in the forest. Usually you would hear birds or something. It is eerily quiet.
But we're in a swamp.
You're technically on the edge of mountain swamp area where like your mountain forest meets the swamp edge.
Gotcha.
Can I get a perception check?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know. Roll your freaking dice.
17.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
My bad, I forgot to hit push to talk. Nat one!
Kalila is still asleep. Defibulus and Clyde, you notice something odd. That swamp that you were looking at, that is approximately where the dark swamp would be, there's nothing there. There's no mist, there's no swamp, just this vast expanse of dirt. Wet dirt, but the swamp that was there last night is not there right now.
Call me crazy, but I get the feeling the swamp may have just picked up and left us.
So I can call you crazy?
Well, you can call me whatever you like, I guess.
Sally, here we go.
Well, they did say it was a cursed swamp, didn't they?
You're asleep.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Talking in her
Sleepy.
sleep.
Snore.
I will awaken Kalila and be like, we have a mystery upon us, which would be the absence of a swamp.
I think the swamp got up and left us.
Okay, rivers move, not swamps. What? And she's gonna get up and take a look at what the hell they're talking about.
He left us. But that's not what we're
The
going to do.
the swamp that was there is gone. There are no trees, no water, just this mud that you can see from a distance. You are still on the edge of a mountain, but all that misty area is completely gone.
Oh, might as well start walking forward and investigate.
I agree. Didn't they say it was a cursed swamp?
Well, I mean, yeah, they did, but I have little experience with swamps in general, so.
So moving down the mountain towards.
Correct.
All right. I need a. Let me get a survival check from everyone just to make sure that. Or not. Let's do an agility? Because it's kind of rough terrain.
Like acrobatics?
Yeah.
Let's do acrobatics just to make sure you guys aren't like falling into any holes that are hidden by underbrush and getting down like slippery areas.
Can I just take half movement if you're describing this and I'll just walk slowly because I'm in armor. I'm not going to do well.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
just
and I'm
going to
gonna help Clyde because he's in armor and I know forests, so I'll probably also help find the best path.
All right, so this means it's going to take you about half the day to get down to the swamp edge, or at least where the swamp edge should be.
That's fine. I accept this.
Once you get down there, there is a cool air that seems to resonate from around you. The air feels fresh and clean, unlike the air that you came from, but it feels unnatural. What do you guys want to do?
I would say we just continue moving forward. I know it might seem unnatural, but that's why we're here.
Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm at least gonna take a round or two to observe, see what I see if the animals are acting differently here too, or if it just feels weird.
Roll your perception.
22.
There is nothing. No footprints, no birds, no insects. It is dead silent. Besides, like every now and then you might hear the wind, this area is completely devoid of life.
I'm going to point that out to the party and be like, guys, do either of you hear anything?
I will stop and listen.
Perception?
23.
You hear nothing.
Nada.
Look at Clyde.
Let's see what I get. 8.
Well, you don't hear anything because there's nothing to hear.
Yay.
I would just make sure to keep your ears open, because there's literally no sound.
Would you guys like to push into this mud and mire, or do you want to do something else?
Weren't we supposed to like wait for the pallet, like other people, to meet us up here?
Well, what we'll do is we're going to try and make sure that there was a area outside the swamp to possibly have the larger force and then the smaller force, which is us, go into and try and find her, basically.
Well, then yes, I would say we proceed forward then.
So you're going to try pushing into the muddy area?
Yep.
Who wants to go first? Or are you all going at the same time?
I can scout ahead.
Should we throw a stick ahead of us, see if it's safe?
That's a good idea.
Like,
The ration? Throw one of the rations out.
A good ration or a hobgoblin
Yeah,
ration?
hobgoblin ration.
Okay. So you throw it out, and it makes this nasty splat as it hits this thick, stale mud.
Spliggly splat. Don't talk back.
Yeah.
Nothing else happens. Okay.
Kalila's gonna take a little bit of like a 10-foot lead, since she has probably the most experience trudging through woods being a hunter, to
Mm-hmm.
help find the best path.
Okay.
At least in like whatever general direction we're going.
So you take 10 steps into this mud. Anyone following right behind her?
Not right behind her, no.
I'll tell you, yeah, not right behind her.
How far of a lead are you giving her?
10 feet, like she said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perception check from Clyde and Defibulus.
14.
Okay.
That one.
Defibulus is distracted by a blade of grass.
Ooh, look at
Clyde.
this grass.
Clyde, you start to notice that her black fur is starting to become almost transparent.
Kalila, you might want to come back here. You're disappearing, I guess.
Kalila will stop and look down at her own body.
You don't see anything. Everything is normal to you. But roll your perception.
25.
Both Clyde and Defibulus are starting to fade, like they're becoming a little bit more translucent.
I will walk back towards them and study them to see if they continue to fade or become more opaque again.
As you get closer, the fading slowly reverses and they become more solid looking.
Huh.
Clyde, you see the same thing with her. As she gets closer, she becomes less and less see-through.
I wonder if there is a dome of secrecy or something of that like that we need to go through.
That's possible.
I don't know about you guys, but this blade of grass is really interesting.
I'm
Just
going
gonna smirk
to.
and go, should we hold hands on the way in?
I would actually agree to that, as we also tie a rope around each person.
Does anyone have rope?
Of course,
This is part of those supplies that
Mhm.
we said that the picking up are all the supplies we need
Okay.
before we left. That would have included things like a basic rope, maybe a grapple.
always need rope.
Exactly.
I would accept like a basic rope, basic supplies, but grappling hooks and stuff like that would be you'd have to call out for.
Okay, that's fair. I'll accept my rope.
Okay. So,
Pretty sure I actually have a grapple.
who is tying the rope?
I will.
All right. Use let me get
Probably
you-
survival.
Yeah, go ahead and use your survival.
I mean, that would make the most sense to me.
I mean, I had a rope beforehand. It comes in my paladin's kit that I got.
Well, that's fair, but I'm just either way.
I have rope and a grappling hook.
I can't math.
1 + 1 = 2.
Five.
2 equals
24.
4.
I think
All
24.
right. You securely tie the rope between each of you. How much lead are you giving between each person?
About 5 feet.
Okay.
Just
Back
so that
in-
way, if somebody slips, it's not you drag everybody down, but there's enough
Mhm.
slack to not die.
So back into the mud with you?
Yep.
All right. So,
We get more
as
of
you
the map
guys
yet? Can we get more of the map yet?
know, you'll get more of the map when I tell you you get more of the map.
No.
So,
Attack the map with arrows.
as you guys get closer or deeper into this mud, each of you start to notice that the forest surrounding the area begins to slowly fade into this strange mist. You all start to feel nauseous, as if your stomachs are being tied in knots, and a darkness descends on you. Several hours later, you awaken. Can you guys see what map you're on?
We're back in the town?
Back on that mountain ridge, about a day's travel from where you were.
Hell?
Still tied together, but clean, as if you had never traveled through mud.
Well, this is kind of peculiar.
Kalila's gonna be very fucking confused.
Are we awake?
You are
We
awake,
are.
and you are sitting at
Are we?
literally the entrance of the mountain range.
How'd we get back here?
Maybe it's the curse tricking us that we're... I don't know.
I guess we go back?
We're in an area out. Yeah, wait. That's a good question.
Did we just get magicked?
I think we did.
Magicking someone against their will? How rude.
Does anyone have any type of knowledge, arcana, or...
I apparently have no knowledges.
Okay.
I'm going to do intimidate to figure out what's going on.
What are you going to intimidate? You know what? Fine. Defibulous. What would you like to intimidate?
The darkness.
The darkness, man.
Well, it's
Roll to intimidate the darkness.
it is still it's daylight. It's near sunset.
Nat
So-
20 on intimidating the darkness.
You have successfully intimidated the darkness. You've moved back the sun, moved the sun higher into the sky. You've gained an hour of daylight.
Defibulous will just stare in awe of what he has done.
Did we seriously sit around for an hour as he like huffed into the air?
I'm gonna go talk to somebody, anybody that can find it, and ask them what day it is.
I'm gonna untie us all before you move.
Hey guys, I don't think untying us is a good idea yet.
We're back in the town. And he's walking into town.
Do you know that we're back in town? Are you sure we're back in town?
Yeah, today it's a cursed swamp. Maybe it's like mind-wigging our brains to thinking us that we're in town?
Are you going to question everything now? And I'm going to pinch both of them.
Ow!
Yes.
I'll pinch her back.
I'm gonna dodge.
Roll your dodge, and Defibulous, roll your
As they're
CMD.
doing this, I'm going to yank on the rope.
and
16
hold
on
on.
a reflex.
Clyde.
check.
I need you to roll your strength.
Yes, 22.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this to Clyde. Defibulous and Kalila, roll your acrobatics.
Wouldn't that be a reflex check or is it acrobatics?
It's an acrobatics because it's technically he is yanking you.
So here's a question.
21.
All
My
right.
acrobatics says when jumping,
Are you
and that
jumping?
has... Well, no, but it has a -5, so do I just go with the regular dex modifier
Yeah,
if I'm not jumping?
yeah, regular dex mod.
16.
All right, you're both still on your feet as Clyde's literally just walking.
Why won't you let me untie us?
We've told you why.
I didn't hear it.
Because maybe the swamp is mind-wigging us to making us think we're in the town.
We're back. Oh, fine. Fine. And she's just gonna walk with them.
As you arrive back in town, it is Narrow Cloud. A couple of the paladins are helping out people, healing up and making sure there's like cleaning up the arrows and all the debris.
Like they were when we left.
Yeah, I mean, big mess. One of them stops and looks at you, very confused. What are you guys doing back?
We got to the swamp, and the swamp has a field or something, and I think it teleported us back here.
We think.
We were in the swamp 1 minute, and then we weren't.
He just stares at you, confused for a moment, and he goes, "So, you teleported?"
Sounds like it.
One would have.
Maybe.
He goes, hold on. He walks off and starts talking to one of the sellswords, who is acting as the guard. The sellsword literally just starts laughing. Walking up, between breaths, he goes, "It's called the Dark Swamp. You're only able to get in when it is dark. During the day, it disappears."
This would have been like great information to be told while we were going.
No one asked me.
Fair enough.
Note to self about reconnaissance.
He goes, "Yeah, you have to enter at night. You don't have to get out before sunrise. You will end up somewhere. Usually people teleport randomly if they are inside, like, I think the very beginning of the swamp, where it is I guess you would say, the safest. People have been able to get out from there, but they're usually insane afterwards.
Why do they go insane?
We don't know. We think it might be a creature that's inside that is messing with them, or maybe it's they see something in there that makes them think that they're still there. It's hard to say, but usually those people end up traveling back to the swamp and disappearing.
Or the swamp hopping around eating rabbits, dissolving them?
He just shakes his head. He goes, "I stay in the town for a reason."
All right. Well, then unfortunately, we need to make our way back. And
Can we untie ourselves now?
I'm kind of fond of the rope.
All right, Kalila's just accepting that this is her life now, and no longer cares about untying the rope, and is going to head back to the swamp, tied to them.
Are you dragging them like Clyde did to you?
I don't think I'm strong enough, but unless I can use acrobatics to do it.
Nope, it's got to be strength.
Backflip all the way into the swamp.
I mean, I could.
So, heading back to the swamp?
yup.
All right, give me a sec.
Did we un-
Hey, you get there unaccosted. So it's been another day and a half. You've arrived back to where you had disappeared, or back to the edge of that.
Time of day or night is it?
It is now just before dusk. The sun is slowly setting, and I need an perception check.
13.
8.
Okay.
16.
All right. So Clyde doesn't really notice it, but Kalila and Short Round, you start to notice these trees are starting to slowly appear, materializing out of thin air little by little. Not like from the ground up, like literally just maybe a leaf appears and then a branch and then another leaf and then a branch and then part of the trunk.
I'm going to make sure to tell everybody that.
That's a really neat thing to see.
Well, it looks like the sellsword knew what he was talking about.
You've entered the dark swamp. The mist around you is beginning to turn thick to where you can't see 40 to 50 feet into the tree line. The strange thing about this mist is that it is this sickly green, but you notice flecks of purple in it. So it almost has this swirling effect. The swamp itself gives you this uneasy feeling as if you are being watched. Right now, you don't feel like every eye is on you, but you do have this eerie sense that something is watching you from the tree lines. Well, me friends, that is all I have for this evening. Our young adventuring party have been tied together in this little adventures. they are bound to enter the swamp and see what makes this dark swamp so cursed. Maybe along the way they'll be able to find and rescue the fair priestess. But the moon is high, my soup is empty, and it is time for me to say goodbye. Remember, my friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll. We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.